Hi everyone, it's Nancy Lynn from Sew Euphoria, and I am here today for hashtag Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, Volume 2, and we're working on the prompt Snow Globe, but I needed to finish up a few things, so this is going to be kind of finishing up and starting anew, and that's what's going on with this. Alright, so I'm putting this aside for a while. We'll work on that later. And I have this, and I don't know how much of this I showed you. This was the, what was the name for it? Oh, a vintage picture, postcard. And I used this trim all the way around with the leaves, and then I went around and did French knots all the way around. I then took this yarn and went all the way around and did a little slip stitch all the way around to hold that onto for the green one. And now I have to put these on there, and I'm using the velvet ribbon, and if I can find the end to this, and all I'm doing is measuring equal lengths of each. And then we're going to run that through the opening that I left, so that trying to find a medium to small size. See one over here on my pin cushion, but it's not wanting to play today. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is, I know that I want the green velvet on the bottom when it goes through, and I want this on there. For this, it is important that you set it up this way, because otherwise it will be behind it, and it is really tough without running it through again to get it through. And I'm going to close my pin, and I've just got them going through both, and my little space is right here for this to go through, and I'm just going to push it through just like you would an elastic through a band. Almost there. And then peek through the little safety pin. Keep an eye on it as you're pulling it, making sure it's not twisting. And then kind of measure down to where you want your ribbons to be. Now I need to bring it this way just a little. So I want to make sure it's equal on both sides. A little bit more. Now I'm thinking I might need to do a little tack stitch to hold this in, but I also want them to have the freedom to take it out if they don't want it in there. Remove the safety pin. And now I have these ready to tie to the one on either side of it so that she can run the banner. And so that was the first one of that one. Now this is the red one, which is done the same way. I've already run the ribbons through the top of the piece. I have gone around with some trim, leaf trim, and I have done some French knots. I've done a running stitch all the way around. This was a silk material. Just love the way it frays, nice and fluffy. And so this one will be for the red set. Now last prompt was was Santa Claus, or an old Saint Nick, and so I used this picture, and I think I showed you this one, and we had got it started on this. Since I've seen you guys, since the video was out, I have put on these little poinsettias. I have done all kneel to him. Now you can still see the pencil mark back here. I just need to use an iron to heat that away, because I did use a Frixion heat set pencil. I have done running stitches all the way around it. Added an extra piece here. Here I used a little red trim that I had all the way around. And so I'm happy with that. Now this one does not have the pieces run through yet, so I will need to add some pieces to that, and also the snaps in the back. Now, this was the green one for the Santa prompt. And I did use a little belly band here, and this still needs to be ironed to get rid of the little pencil marks with the Frixion. I went around and framed it with some lace. The picture, now I haven't done much else to this. Now this is where I'm going to bring this piece in here. Now this is going to be my back piece, and I printed out these little pictures of a manger scene. And I'm just going to trim this. We'll put that aside. And then I'm going to mount this on here. And I need to make sure that whatever size I have, it's going to go through, and yeah, we'll have plenty to go on that. And I'm just going to use some Aleene's tacky glue. We might need a pin to start this, because somewhere it's lost its little top. And so I'm just going to apply maybe. All right, set that over there for now. When all else fails, right across. Grab another one. Let's try one more time. It should be coming out. There we go, we're getting a little bit of it out. I just want a light touch around the edges, not enough to kind of warp the paper. And now we're going to try to centerize this. Glue it down. And we're going to trim it, kind of eyeballs, so that you've got equal amounts on either side. Get rid of that. And this is just the little card that is going to fit right in the little belly band. Trying not to touch it because it's still wet with the glue. and that'll just fit there. And I don't think it's gonna, yeah, it might slide out, but. And now I know where this is going, then I will finish up and do some running stitches. I might put something else on here, but so that's that one. Now, for the prompt that we had this time, which was Snow Globe, I was all excited, and I thought, oh, I want to do a manger scene. Well, but I wasn't thinking manger scene. Manger scene. So I've done 2 of them, so I don't need a third. So here is what I had done. I had taken the cloth, I had cut out a base for the snow globe, made the round circle for the snow globe. I put on these for Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, and the North Star, thinking it was black, but it's purple, according to my cousin, which I believe. And so, and I went ahead and put the stars on here, and I got all the leaves. I did a little bit of evergreen and then some holly, and I was just about ready to beat it, and I thought, I'm not going to do a third manger scene in this. So what I am going to do is remove these pieces. Keep this here, and then I'm going to work on putting something in here. Luckily on the green one, I had got my pieces cut out. I had decided to do a dark piece on this one and use a gray for the silhouettes, and then the gold like I did on the other one for the stand. So I might still keep the blue on this one for that, but I'll use these on something else, these little pieces that I had cut out. Luckily this one's only pinned and it's not sewn. Now on this one, they are sewn. So what I'm gonna have to do is very carefully, without cutting the white material, undo the stitches that are in there. And once you get it going, it's usually easier. You just have to be careful not to cut the underneath fabric. And so that's going to take me a while to get that out. But I think I'm going to do maybe a little cottage, you know, with maybe a long walkway, snow, for these. And so on the next video I will show you what I'm going to do, but I had to show you what I'm not doing only because that was my third manger scene, and I wasn't real happy with these because I guess because it was in purple instead of black, and it wasn't the colors that I thought it was. So I'll spend some time pulling all this out. It's only stitches. So how are you guys doing out there? Are you working on your pages? And Rachel and Sarah announced what the next 6-month project is going to be. And it's going to be, did she say Garden Down Under? I'm working on a quilt that actually is called Garden Down Under. The pattern was by an Australian maker for the quilt show, and she designed the pattern, and they're using that one. So yeah, like I said, if you have to take this stuff out, it's not that hard. You just have to be patient with it and be careful. Pull your threads, and before you know it, you've got a clean slate to work on again. And so what I will do is finish removing these, and then I'll get started on this, and then my next video will be on working on the new pieces that I'm going to put on here, so you guys can see that. But I'm going to keep all of this because there was a lot of work doing all the stitching around all of these. I'm just going to remove this from the snow globe and then start with something afresh in there. And if I have to remove a couple of them, that'll be okay. I can do that as long as I don't have to remove all of this foliage that I put in here. And like I said, luckily this one, these are only pinned down, so I can change it. But I just didn't, I guess I wasn't thinking about the other ones, and I just didn't want, you know, major seam, major seam, major seam. So this one's going to be a little different. Now I think when I'm done, I am going to, if I can find the end, this silk yarn is beautiful, but I know you guys have seen me use it before, but it's like has a mind of its own. But anyway, I'm just going to take one strand of this and I'm going to go all the way around just to separate that out a little bit more. And I think that will add a pretty little touch to it. All right, well, I hope you guys are happily stitching, and if not, start. Like I said, these are good little projects to start. You know, if you haven't done them before but you thought you might want to, you know, they're small, so there's not a lot invested into it. Scraps. And from there, you know, you can learn new things each time. And that's what it's all about. All right, you guys have a blessed day. This is Nancy Lynn saying bye.